Hello, Joe.
I'm here.
Good. I was looking for somebody like a half hour ago, and so there was a ship coming down. And I thought I better go get it. So I got
Yep, that's right.
so I shut the stream down, and here I am starting back up again.
Are you good? They'll be popping on.
Yep. Okay. Let me get it set up. Get rid of the damn emojis.
Yeah, we got a little dicey here with the weather.
Really?
And the worst of it hasn't even come in yet. Coming in about an hour. Dominic ought to pop on. But you got somebody competing with you right now.
Who's on?
You got some wedge and big.
Oh, okay. Well, I imagine Justin's over there.
I'm gonna tell you right now, we'll go look.
Justin, probably Dominic.
It's Wedge and Big has a gaming channel now.
Well, that'd grade up right up
You
Justin's.
got Andrew, Charles, Joel, Laura, Jim Beauchard, Ashley Brown. Let's see, Dominic. I don't see what you call it, Justin, but I guarantee he's lurking.
That would be my guess. Yep.
Yeah, that's what's happening. He came on. I don't know. It says it's a live stream that he's doing. Been on 52 minutes. Yep. Yeah, he's trying to
Second.
make his channel bigger.
Round two.
Hey, how you doing, David?
Don't forget to pin your post, Paul.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
David,
Yeah.
No, Laura's here.
Hey, Laura.
yeah, the real weather's supposed to. I mean, it was pretty good about an hour ago. Got real dicey. Made it. All the dogs got underneath my chair, and it's supposed to really come through here in the next few minutes. Hey, that's the channel I need to have on. They have that weather channel on. Mine. Oh, geez.
Well,
Yeah,
after the
we had a
snow
tornado
this
warning.
morning,
What's that, David?
after the snow we had this morning, we now have a weather warning for ice.
How much snow did you get? Did it melt or?
Yeah, we didn't get any snow. A lot of the country did, south of the country. Well, we didn't here, but now a lot of them areas that are flooded are now getting ice. That's when you whack the heating on and you get goldfish swimming around your living room.
Right.
All I know is when I finish printing this damn thing, I ain't never printing nothing like it again.
Working on that for a while.
Well, this is it. I'm down to the last parts. But I have some exciting news.
What's that?
I called up the place I ordered this printer from,
Uh-huh.
and they said, "Well, you got 60 days to cover. We cover it under warranty services. Let's get tech support involved." So we got tech support involved, and I told them, I said, "It seems like when this thing gets in there on a long print, and it'll maybe get any kind of kink in it. It breaks off and won't go through, and then I got to take it all apart, and it keeps doing that. I said, it's been about 6 times. And he said, yeah, he said, that's the gears gripping it. And when it's jerking, it's popping it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, is it supposed to be doing that?
Nope.
And he said, well, yes and no. That's how he put it. He said, if it's jammed long enough, it'll do that. He said, unfortunately, this one doesn't have a warning to tell you it's got a jam. So it's going to keep trying to fill it. I said, okay, so you tell me it could be defective. And he said, I actually am. Like that. He said, it could be it's just a flaw and they're going to have to change. He said, but he said, I tell you what we can do. He said, we can refund it if you want to refund it. I said, well, then I got all the filament. I've been using it. And I'm seeing y'all what I'm going to do. He said, I said, I like the fact that it's 3D printed. I like it. He says, well, let me do this. Let me go check on something. He came back and he said, what we can do is we can give you a full credit back on this one. And he said, he said that, then he said, no, hold on a minute. Came back and he said, we're gonna go ahead and upgrade you. I said, what do you mean by upgrade me? He said, we're gonna give you the M5, that's the higher model, and we're not gonna charge you any difference. We're just gonna send it out to you. So we're gonna replace this one. We'll send it, so you'll have it by Wednesday or Thursday latest. He said he'll have the shipping label to put on the box to put this one back in. And once we get this back, he said, but if we don't get this one back in 14 days, we'll charge you for the other one. Like that. He said, but what we'll do is we'll just swap it out and give you the different drive model, so you won't have the gears grabbing the thing.
Did you ask them if they also sold the bamboo?
They don't.
Okay.
I did. They don't. They don't.
I just spotted a problem with your 3D printer.
But he told me, he said, I'm not supposed to tell you this. He said, but we've been getting a bunch of them back.
Yeah.
He said, it's only that model. He said, people complaining about it.
Just so you're aware, when you get your next one, you know where your printer spool is?
Yeah.
Yeah. You either need it in the center or above the motor.
Well, that's where the print spool is. It's on the other side, or it's on the side by the motor.
Yes. Where you've got it at the moment, you've got it where it's get maximum strain.
Yeah, I know. The other one,
probably what's causing
the other one, the spool will be right here. So I just have to move things over a little.
Yeah. You can put it. You can move them around. But yeah,
that one you can't.
Hey, Mark White, how you doing?
It should have 2 screws in the top.
Mad Props, how you doing?
And it'll slide across the bar.
Yeah, that's got 2 screws in the back that go in one place, and it's the only place they got the 2 places screws can go in.
It should literally just, if you untighten it, you should be able to slide it across.
That's, you see that long bar? It's screwed way down into the long bar. It's not on anything else.
No, it will go right up to the edge.
I don't think it's slotted. I don't think you can slide it.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not going to let you. I looked at it 3 or 4 times to see if I could find
2 grooves in the metal bar.
And it's bolted straight through, right?
No, there shouldn't be.
I don't think it slides, does it?
The filament, for the filament you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the filament bar is bolted in.
Yeah, but shouldn't it be on 2 little things that grip into that groove on that top bar?
No.
But if it's bolted in underneath, then you got a problem with your gantry bar that, as it comes up, it's going to lose space.
It's a different design, David.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about that the other day. He can't move it. It's
what make is it?
There.
Joe, what make is it?
Anchor make. M5C.
I thought the M5 is the one they're sending you, right?
Yeah, and the M5 also has the camera on it to monitor it. So you got real-time monitoring of it. And it's also
they're upgrading you to the newer, latest and greatest with a camera and everything else.
Well, it's actually the older one. It's the older one. This is the new one. And and the thing is it also has the feature in it that if it feels any kind of gaps in the print, it lets you know. Stops. So if you're doing a 19-hour print and it jams, it's going to stop and stop right there and go right back to that spot. I told him, I said, I've also just did an upgrade on it, and everything I put in there tells me the geocodes aren't compatible, the G codes. And he says, yeah, he said something's wrong with it. He said, I think something's wrong with it.
Yeah, it's a design fault. I can see it
It
from
probably
here.
is.
I can see it because your filaments on the right hand side is getting maximum movement and tension. So literally, as it's printing, it's pulling it constantly.
Yeah. And that's what it was doing. That's what I was saying.
They've got that bar on the wrong way because I'm almost certain your filament should be on the other side of that printer.
Mad Prop, they're just going to swap it out for him. He doesn't have to pay anything extra. And they're
Nothing.
going to pay for the shipping and the return shipping.
Yep. Both.
Mate, a lot of these 3D printer companies are pretty good. I mean, when I spoke to G-Tech about the one I had here, I told him the screen was not as responsive as it should be. And he just said, I'll send you out a new screen. And 2 days later, new screen came on board. Just swapped it over, no problem.
Well, and the tech guy told you that you said, is this a defective unit? And he hemmed and hawed and says, well, we've had a lot of returns.
He didn't tell me it was defective. He told me, yeah, we're having a little issue with it. But Johnny said the same. See, Johnny's getting a replacement too, but I think they're sending him the same one.
Wow. Well, at least you're getting somewhere. Give you something new to play with.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see that when they ship it, they'll give me the shipping status. But they said it should go out today. I should have it Wednesday. I said the return label will be there. So I shouldn't have an issue with that.
Yeah. That printer will be on Amazon next week. And then I'm going to look at it and go, ooh, bargain. Because remember, Paul, that's what kept happening with me, weren't it? They kept sending me other people's returns, the bastards.
Yeah, they'll advertise it as an open box. Like
I'll tell you what I'll do. On the bottom, I'll put USA Drone Flyer sticker.
There you go.
You know what I've started doing when I return stuff to Amazon? I put a little message in it that says, this product was damaged, and explain what it is, and then wrap it into the thing somewhere. And if somebody opens it and gets it out and they go, oi, it's supposed to be new, they can go back.
Yeah.
I don't know why Amazon hate me returning stuff.
Mad Props wants to know what is the difference in price between the two models.
About $150, $140. That was the difference. But like I said, they told me, don't worry about it. We got it.
Don't worry about it. We got some other sucker to buy this one.
Don't worry about it.
No, they're sending it back under warranty. That's what they're doing, sending it back to the company.
Yeah, but that's what I'm on about. It's like, don't worry about it. We got some other sucker to buy this one. And it's normally me.
I don't know what the temperature is going to be. Yeah, it might not hurt. Yeah, my son worrying about the temperature. And it's only supposed to get down to like 64. We're worried about wearing the thermal tonight.
Oh, yeah?
I'd wear that. So you can't wear a jacket.
Yeah, if it's only going down to 60, that's not bad, but right now, right here, right now, it's 34 degrees and it's going down to 24.
It's gonna be 30 tomorrow.
Well, we know what
It's-
Gitchy's going to be doing 7:30 Eastern time.
He's going to be watching the game.
Watching the game, yes.
Go
I'm up here
Blues.
fighting, trying to put this piece in there, and I forgot I didn't glue it. This goes right there. Yeah, and this little piece right here, this little piece that goes in here, the piece that originally printed out was this one, and it was too wide. So I had to shrink it down a little bit.
Wow.
Got people walking up the stairs outside and the dogs hear them and they go crazy. Yeah, I mean it's like nighttime right now outside.
Oh yeah, it's so cloudy, it gets dark early.
I'm talking about from the weather. It's just we got about another hour before we get dark, but it's the weather's doing it right now. Just nasty.
Yeah, as you can see, see how dark it is here? Car
Oh, yeah.
lights, street lights.
So my son called me right about the time y'all came on, so I was on the phone with him, and he was telling me, you know what I did today? So I got to my new squadron because he's taking over a new position. He got to his new squadron, and he said he can't park right next to the building like he did before. Now it's like you got to walk like 100 yards. He gets into the building and he goes, "Damn!" Had to walk all the way back to the car because he forgot his hat. So he walked across the thing without his cover on. I said, "Sir, come on." It says, "Put a uniform." He said, "Yeah, I realized." But he got there at 5 o'clock this morning for his first day, and the guy was already there. And he said, "Yeah, I got here about 4:30." Hey, Lance, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Steve.
Steve,
Good.
what's
How are
up?
you? A little cool here in Southern California.
I say Lance, didn't I? Sorry.
That's Stevie.
I did. I looked up. I just glanced. I know
Yeah,
better.
I'll change my name on here. It's from when I go to our board meeting.
I went like this. I went, "Hey, Lance." I know better.
Yeah, we got a little cool weather here. This morning got up was 37 degrees.
Oh, wow.
For us here close to the coast, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually it's just kind of a light jacket weather, right? As you're
You
cold.
bet. Here we go. So how's the weather your way, Paul?
34 degrees and it's going down to 24 tonight, I think.
Ooh. That's a little on the nippy side.
Yes, it is. It's nipply.
Hello there, David.
All right. It is currently -2.
Oh, so you're below freezing too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to warm up again shortly.
Meaning tomorrow or
Now overnight, because
oh
we're getting snow showers. So when it stops, it's dropping, and then as the showers come in, the temperature goes back up. Because not many people know it can't snow below 0.
Yeah, it's true.
0 centigrade.
Yeah. Fahrenheit. Well, yeah, centigrade for us.
Lance, I'm in actually Southern California. Not if the FCD was San Diego. I'm halfway between San Diego and LA in the city of Dana Point. And hello to you. -2 degrees centigrade for Mark. Feels like -2.
Wow.
Well, let's put it this way. I woke up and I was outside and my wife got in the car and she goes and starts it up and the whole windshield was just iced up from the moisture because we live so close. And she went to turn on the window washers and I have below 32-degree windshield washer fluid in there. So nothing. It was all froze up. She went to turn the wipers on and it was just I said, wait, I've got some washer fluid. Let me just pour it over the windshield and then
Now,
turn it on.
you guys don't have the brush and scrapers, right?
Well, I'll just put it this way. I got it in my truck. I need to get it up. Bless you, Joe. I need to put it in her car.
God darn.
Bless you.
Hold on.
They're saying now you really shouldn't be playing around with scrapers on your windscreens.
Why?
Because if there's a slight chip and you hit it, the ice will just cause your windscreen to shatter. So they're advising people to use the stuff that Steve was on about.
Mhm.
In other words, Scraper is doing it for free. Stuff that Steve is using, you have to pay for.
And the scraper I've got is plastic, so it's not a metal one.
The amount of people you hear about that they go out and tip hot water straight onto the windscreen. Yeah, you can kiss that goodbye.
Yeah, you can really tear up a windshield if you don't have a good scraper or correct scraper.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of places here sell the metal ones.
I can't imagine somebody using a metal scraper on there.
Oh, they sell them over here.
But
All right.
the plastic ones are what we have.
A lot of people use the bank card.
Yeah, the credit cards or bank cards that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you're up in Seattle. Okay, she's going to San Diego State University. Party school.
You know when it is cold? When you go to the toilet, you whip it out, and it's just a frozen icicle.
Yep.
That's when it's cold.
You bet. Electric start and defrost is my scraper. That's good, Matt. Props.
Well, I notice when when the weather's really bad, a lot of those people have those auto starts and they'll start the car and the car will be in the driveway running.
Hello, Coreyman. How are you?
Yeah, one of the local councils couldn't send out the gritters today because the lorries wouldn't start. It was like, seriously, those are the lorries you require in the winter. You can't get them started.
Well, Lance, I'm not saying your daughter may be, but San Diego State University, San Diego State University, it used to be. It's the state university. Cal State San Diego is known for being a big party school. And the biggest one we have in our state is up at Santa Cruz. That is the heavy party campus.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hello, Jonathan. And good on her for going and studying nursing. There's
Yeah.
a shortage.
Yeah, there's a lot of shortages in the medical field, right?
Huge.
Tell you what, the concentration on Joel's face, if that gun goes wrong, that printer's going to get shot up. Just see him pull out a gun and like,
No,
you're muted,
when
Joel.
you see the pump shotgun go click, click, and he turns around, then you know it's going to be in problem.
No, it's I need 3 hands. That's what I need.
Get a couple of table clamps.
Once I
Yes,
get
it
to
is.
where
It's a tough school for the nursing school. They've got a good nursing school down there. They've really increased it. Actually, an old girlfriend of mine, she retired now. She lives up in Sonoma, and she went on and she took care of at-home oncology director for the nurses up in that area up there for the hospital she worked for. And I know 2 other nurses. It's a tough bout. And it's a lot warmer down there than it is up there for where you're at. So I'm sure she appreciates that.
my daughter went through nursing school last year, a little over a year ago, right before the baby was born. She got pregnant in nursing school, and it was like,
she
I was
learned that
shocked.
in anatomy and physiology.
She shouldn't have learned it. To put it that way, but she was just going for LPN, and now she wants to go back for RN. But they teach you basically the same thing, just a little bit more time, and then you make a little bit more money.
Yeah, they pay RNs more money.
Oh well, yeah. You got a 4-year college degree.
Yep.
And then you've also got to get your residency done too. Just like you're going for your PhD for your doctorate. Yeah, my old girlfriend, she went to in fact, she was up in Seattle. She graduated from Seattle State and from her nursing degree there. And then when she was living up in San Francisco, she worked up to San Francisco Med. And there's that's a crazy place to work.
San Francisco Medical Center?
Yep. But she got herself into she's a very, very warm, heartwarming, and very caring person. And she got herself, her one training physician talked her into going into oncology. And that was real tough for her because they didn't have, which most hospitals have now, is a more or less not a psychiatric section, but it's a place to be able to vent and talk about over losses because you're losing so many patients in oncology field. And it really was emotionally hard on her.
Oh yeah,
it is.
I bet it's an emotional roller coaster for nurses.
But it's that way in any part of the medical field. In fact, they think what triggered my diabetes, because that's why I got kicked out of the Air Force. I was working ER, and we had a guy come in, and he decided he didn't want to live any longer. So he took a .38 caliber pistol and decided to just go pop himself.
Ooh.
And it didn't kill him. He was still alive when they brought him in, but unfortunately, majority of his brains were from where the impact side was, threw it all over the place and even into the ER. What they think triggered it was 1 week, almost to the minute, we had what they call SIDS, sudden infant death, crib death, back in the days they used to call it.
Yeah.
An 8-week-old baby came in. And I'll tell you what, it was like the Twilight Zone. It seemed like we were there for 4 to 5 hours, and it was 45 minutes. It was like everything went into this slow-mo, slow down, just everything was just like a slow motion, slow motion, slow motion. And the 4 of us working on this infant, when we were done, it was right at shift change. We went over, continuing to work. And when we got done, we went to the cafeteria, and there was not a dry eye out of the group that was out of there. I mean, it did it. And it was 30 days later. That's when I was diagnosed with diabetes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they think the shock to it.
Yeah, the body reacts in different ways, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it is a traumatic situation can trigger diabetes in people. That's why you have what are you trying to think of the name of now? People that go in for like an operation or something, they'll come out. It happened to my grandfather, and he's not diabetic or anything. He went in and became down, had it for about 30 days after the surgery. And then, of course, prenatal, during maternity, they have, women come down with diabetes during the time, just during their pregnancy. "17 hours of rain just started. I'm grounded until then. I guess so." Put your waders on.
17 hours of rain. That's a shower.
Well, it depends on how hard it's coming down, not a shower.
If you saw it here the other day,
Excuse me.
we got 2 months worth of rain in 7 hours.
I saw that in the news.
Absolutely pelted it down.
Yeah, it came right across the channel there from Ireland, because I know it hit there real hard in places, and then it hit you guys.
Knowing our luck, Ireland would have added extra water to it. Here, take that to them as well.
Although the East Coast here in the States, they're getting hammered with that cold front that's going up through there.
Yeah. Yep.
Blizzard conditions.
Yeah, the polar vortex that they're on about the UK getting seems to have hit America more than it hit us.
Lots of snow.
We're going to get a cold spell, but nothing major.
Jonathan, I think I'm going to buy wetsuits for my drones this year.
You don't want wetsuits, you want armbands. There you go, Joe. Print yourself 4 armbands for your drone.
You're muted, Joe. We can't hear you. Oh.
Yeah, my son's trying to get out, and it's like you can't even see the tree. It's raining so hard.
Oh my gosh.
Well, print some
And the
armbands out
lightning-
for your drone.
The lightning's going back and back, just like somebody's taking pictures outside. Well, I may lose power.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a good possibility.
Well,
That's not good.
Joe, you know your
Oh, I know.
spool on top?
Yeah.
Release some of that tension off it. You can see it.
Well, I did. It's actually kind of loose. Watch. Just the way it's shaped, the way I got it.
Yeah, it looks like it's really pulling from here.
Only have to deal with it another day.
Yeah, your new one's supposed to be there, what, 1 or 2 days?
They said if it ships out today, it'll be here Wednesday.
What, you're getting a replacement?
Yeah,
I
the
called them
company's
up and-
replacing.
Yeah, I called up because it's under warranty, and I said it's what's happening is when it gets to a certain point, and it doesn't happen on a small print. It happens when you got a long print. I said all of a sudden, it'll just like catch something and chop off or chip the filament, and then the filament breaks off in it. And you got to take it apart to get it.
Yeah. I
And
seriously think it's where the spool
they said it's
is.
the gears.
Hmm.
But he said in not so many words that he's been getting them back. They've been getting them back.
The
Because the word, it's where the spool is.
You
That
talked to
bar's
the
all the wrong way
technician.
round.
You talked to the technician, he seemed to know all about it.
Yeah. And
So
they're
it's a
sending me
problem
the
they've
M-
been having then.
Yes,
Yeah, this
No.
is the M5C, the newer model. He's sending me the M5, which is the upgrade. It's got the camera on it, got everything. It's also got the detection that if it feels a snag, anything forces, it stops. And it's a different. It doesn't have the pulleys. It's a direct drive type of system. So it's a
Oh,
whole
wow.
different system. Yeah, it's $150 difference in printer, but it's on sale. And he said, we just upgrade you.
So you're getting the
He said-
upgraded one for free then.
Yeah. Is the spool
No-
running
no
down the
cost.
front, Joe?
No difference.
Now you have to ship that one back?
they're sending him the label and everything.
Wow,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
So is the
Well, you
filament
said they-
going down the front or down the back of that?
it's going towards the wall and down into it through that tube.
Yeah, I think that bar's on the wrong way. That's
Well,
not your
the only
fault.
place they had the two holes. Only place they had the two
No,
holes to put the screws.
I think the whole bar is sat on the wrong way. Should be the other way
can't.
round. Which will explain it.
It came built that way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it can't.
They
You
built
can't
it
turn
wrong.
it around.
They built it wrong. It's a design
Yeah,
fault.
'cause it's got to be that way.
Yeah. You look at all the enders and all the others, you'll see the spool is always over the edge.
Yep. Well, like I said, the spool's a different place on the other one. There's two places you can put it on the other one, and it's on that side. So
Yeah, well, it should be.
I got this whole thing made, all ready to put together, and I'm finding that this part is too wide for the piece that goes in here, and it won't let the other piece go in. So now I got to remake this piece a little thinner. You know,
Oh,
Get a bit of
geez.
sandpaper.
that's the last
Well, do you
piece
have
I'm
a
worried about.
you have a Dremel you could go in there and just etch it
No,
out a little bit?
I went to slice it and just pulled it down a little.
Oh.
So now I'll print it off a little bit thinner, you know.
Well, I mean, so you don't have to
3
throw
minutes.
away your other items.
Yeah, bit of sandpaper will do it.
I'm not worried about it. Because this is the last time I'm printing something this crazy.
This is the last time he's printing something like this because he's going out and using it later. Give me your money.
I got
Yeah, Stevie's printing a gun.
It looks like it.
one for that.
Yeah. What model's that, Joe?
That is the Charter Arms 357's mug.
I've got one like that, but mine's a Remington 357. It's what I use for my concealed weapon permit. Hollow point. Hollow point
Yep.
copper jacket.
Yep.
It's exactly what
Police
the loads
load.
are that I had with mine. I wanted
Oh,
to
the police
stop.
load.
I wanted to.
I
I
know
wanted
somebody.
to stop when I hit the first person. I don't want it going on past them.
I see YouTube have updated their rules on the guns. If it's
What's that?
illegal to have a gun in your country, you're allowed to show it, but
Mhm.
you're not
Yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to point it at you or someone else.
Well, that's common sense
Yeah.
of the handling of a
Yeah.
firearm.
Yeah.
You
So
notice
if-
he had it to the side on both sides when he
So
was
if you
handling
point it at the camera, yeah, YouTube are going to be like, God, he's going to shoot us.
I'll put it to you this way: if I have to point it at you, you're in trouble.
That bullet's going to have to travel a long way to get to me.
Yeah, in the military, we were taught when we walk guard duty, if you pull that weapon, you have to shoot it. It's
Yep.
because you have to shoot it.
You know, when I went through to get my concealed weapon permit, when I had my liquor store, after you go through all the paperwork and everything, and it's the local sheriff's department here that issues the permits and for the county
The purchase permit, right?
for the permit issues the permit, yeah. And when we were going through, we're talking, and he goes, I got one last question for you. He says, if someone comes in and they have a gun and they're going to hold you up, what are you going to do? I says,
Shoot 'em.
that's easy. I says, I'm going to give them everything they want. I said, if they want help carrying it to their vehicle, I'll help carry it out to their vehicle. And he goes, yep, that's what you do. And then the moment he turns around, then shoot him. Because in a commercial armed robbery, you can shoot a person in the back. You try doing that in a home invasion, and you'll be in deep doo-doo here in the States, especially
Unless
in
unless you
California.
drag his ass back in afterwards, right?
Even doing it in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean, we all know the forensics is going to show where it went in and where it came out. And that's why with that
Yep.
round that Joe was showing in that gun, it typically should not come out if you hit him in the mass. It's going to hit
Yeah.
and stop and open up. And if it does go through, it's going to come through with a big open up in the backside.
Got a point.
What's that?
Got a point.
Yeah. No, I had to study ballistics from when we were in medical school. But I already knew about that anyways, about firearms and using them. But what people don't know is the 223 round, which is, for the M16, that round is meant to tumble and it follows a skeletal system. So that's why you'd see so many injured servers, members of the military. They could be shot in the arm, but the exit wound could come out their side of their, the other side of their hip, because it's going to follow. It's going to follow and tumble and roll as it goes through. And it's the speed of the projectile. That's what really does it too.
Yeah, that sucker spins crazy. I am not putting that together right now. I'm done. I've had enough of it. Just because I'm gonna do. I shouldn't have put the upper receiver together. I should have put that last.
So what caliber?
That right there.
357.
That's the Desert, the 44. When it's all
it's a
finished.
44 mag?
Yeah.
Holy mackerels.
And like I said, I got everything made. Now I'm gonna have to go because I put that freaking stupid glue on there. The pins, I might have to drill them out. Because what the pin did was it molded. When I pulled it apart, it broke off right there. So might be able to pull them out. But,
Now,
I mean,
is that
it
is that an auto?
Yeah, this would be the Desert Eagle. That's the name of the gun.
I'm not familiar
It's
with
called-
that.
But it's
called
just
a
a
Desert Eagle.
it's just a replica.
Yeah, it doesn't shoot.
Are you
I
sure?
was just printed to. Well, yeah, I wouldn't put nothing in it. You don't have a firing pin for one. The hammer's plastic; it wouldn't do it. And if you shoot something with this, you better have something on because it's probably gonna explode.
Yeah. Boom. Ceramics, that's one of the ways they've done it.
Well, a
Yeah.
lot of the guns that are you can 3D print, you can shoot.
One time. Most of them are just
Yeah,
a
you
single
got-
shot.
You got a single shot in the thing. I've actually got a file for in 1911 that will fire.
Wow.
I've
That's
had that thing
unbelievable.
I've had that for years. When
Uh-huh.
it first hit the internet, I went and found it and downloaded it quick.
I've got a 44 mag. It's a replica of the old Colt Dakota.
Mhm.
And so it looks like the old Colt 45 Dakota. It's got an all brass inlay on the handle grip with walnut grips on it. Its only problem is it's a single shot.
Right. All these little pieces fell off.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, they were all down here, and the dogs are underneath me because they're here in the rain, and they all Loki and Cleo's right here. Tino's sitting over there like, no big deal.
Andrew, why are they doing e-learning tomorrow? Because of the weather?
And they shut down Mandeville at 12 o'clock today to school.
Oh wow. Well,
I was
Corey Man
supposed to
said
bring them
there's
their
a
pictures.
Corey Man says there's a whole club of 3D printed guns. There's a documentary out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, East Coast thrills. That's unfortunate. It's happening over here, and it's happening here in the States. That's for sure. In fact, the one guy came after one guy. I forget where it was. I don't remember which state it was. Came after a guy with like a what am I trying to think of? The big Aussie knife, like
Yeah.
Dundee, Crocodile Dundee
Machete.
knife came up to him.
A Bowie knife.
Pulled him out and boom, dropped him, nailed him. He ended up getting as far to his car and he opened the door and that's where he sat. No, I'm not a doctor. I was a medical aerovac, Andrew. United States Air Force. I served my time working at March Air Force Base Hospital, which was a 500-bed hospital. At that time, we had almost 38,000 active duty members and dependents on the base. So we were like a regular city hospital. We got
That was big
everything
time.
in there. Worked ER, pediatrics, orthopedics.
Birthing babies.
Yes. In fact, we gave birth to one in the elevator heading up to go up to the maternity ward.
I used to be a magnet for 911 calls when I was on the unit.
Uh-huh.
And it was about a week before my first child was born. I'm walking out of Charity Hospital and a car pulls up. And as the car's pulling up, I see a leg sticking up on top of the back seat and another leg sticking out the window.
No.
And I'm thinking it's a gunshot. That's what I'm thinking. It's a gunshot or something.
Yeah.
So we're not even part of this. We're going, right? And knowing me, I got to go walk over and I look in there and I said, hold on, baby, don't push like this. And I said, Al, go grab a spine board and a stretcher. He just looked at me and rolled his eyes because it's not us. So go grab a nurse's spine board and a stretcher like this. So the nurse comes out, they bring the spine board and I put the spine board on the stretcher and I open the car up and I say, can you close your, because the baby's starting to cry. I said, close your legs a little bit. Don't try to push right now. And the dad is the one driving it, her dad.
Mhm.
And I looked at it and I said, this isn't your first baby, right? She goes, no, I got 3 babies at home. Like that. She goes, I got 3 childs at home, like that. I said, okay, hold on a minute. And I said, and the nurse looked, how are we going to get her out the car? I got this. And an Indian doctor comes out and he goes, oh, how are we going to do this in the car? You know, and I said, we got this, like this. And Al says, yeah, Al's just shaking his head because he already knows me. So I've slid the spine board in and I said, give me your legs. I said, I'm going to slide you on the spine board. It's a slick surface, and you should slide with your material.
Yeah, you will.
So I'm pulling them on there real slow, and the doctor's on the other end, and they're holding the stretcher. And as we get her all the way onto the stretcher, I take the doctor's hand and say, put your hand right here. Right here. And he looks at me and he lifts his hand up and said, put your hand down there. Like that. And he just puts it down there. And I said, you're going to push, huh? And she pushed, the baby slid all the way out to his hand. Like this. And he looks down at this baby and the baby's gasping, right? And he looks down and he goes, ooh, in my country, I have never seen nothing like this. and they pick the baby up and they start working on the baby. And I said, y'all don't need me, right? I got to go. Al looked at me and he says, I can't believe you did that.
Good on you.
They had no idea what to do. You're getting her out the car. I'll get her out the car for you. And I knew she was going to have the baby because the baby was enough out. She had to get this baby out. Somebody's going to reach in and get it, you know?
Yeah. Hello,
But
Justin.
that was number one. I count for me. And
Huh.
within 8 months after after my daughter was born, I had 10 of them we delivered in the unit.
Wow.
What's up,
It
Steve?
was like,
How
it was
are
like a
you, sir?
magnet.
Good.
No, I wanted to deliver my child when it was time, but the problem is ended up having to go cesarean because he was breech. And so ended up the wife had to have him cesarean, so I didn't get to deliver him.
I almost delivered Justin, my son. We were sitting
Really?
in California, in Anacrine. But we were out in Fullerton, actually. It was in Fullerton. At the
I
hospital.
haven't, Joe. I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah. So we lived in Anacrine, and the baby was born in Fullerton at the hospital right there. Justin was born there, and we get there, and first off, we're at the house on Nutwood, and she sits down, and she says, "Ow, something popped." I said, "Well, go in the bathroom," and she goes, "What?" I said, "Your water broke. I guarantee you." She goes, "My
Yeah.
water never broke on the other two." I said, "Get off the bed, go in the bathroom." She looked up. She goes, "You're being mean." I said, "Yeah, go." So she got up and walked in the bathroom. She goes, "I think you're right. I think my water broke." Like that. I said, "Okay, let's go." So I grabbed about 3 towels and put them on my seat and make her sit on the towels, right?
Mhm.
She goes, "This is kind of," I said, "Don't worry about this. It'll absorb in the towels. I don't want to worry about the seat."
Yeah.
So we get to the hospital, and I take her out and I stand her up, and I tell them I need a wheelchair. They get a wheelchair over there. I reach over, grab all 3 of these towels, and just drop them on the floor next to the car. And they went splat. They were soaked, right?
Oh yeah.
And she looked at me and I said, "Didn't hit the seat." It didn't, you know. Bottom one was still dry. So we get up into the room, and I mean everybody's slipping and sliding. Oh no, that's hail. Yeah, we're getting hail now. But I could hear it hitting. But we get up to the room and everybody's slipping and sliding, and they get her into the bed and everything. They hook her up, and they said, "We'll be right back." And they give her a drug called Nubane for pain. And I asked them, I said, "Why? That's a synthetic narcotic." I said, "Why are you giving them Nubane?" "Well, that's our protocol here for pain." I said, "But you haven't done your epidural on her yet." And they looking at me like, and I said, "Oh, EMS, you know." And they said, "Well, we'll be back. It's all in our protocol." Yeah, they're showing it right now on the North Shore where I go, Mandeville Harbor, hail hitting everywhere.
Wow.
That's bad. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I can hear it here. I'll go check my cord a little bit, see how much damage. So she's sitting there and she goes, "I'm about to have this baby, Joe." And I look and this is the medical person in me sitting there, and I look over at the monitor and I'm saying, "Well, it doesn't show that. You're not having them that bad." Boy, that's the wrong thing to say to a pregnant woman having a baby.
Speak for yourself, Jody. Michigan sucks.
But she looked at me. She says, "Joe, I'm telling you, I'm about to have the baby." So I
Uh-huh.
got up, rolled my eyes a little bit, walked over, lifted up the sheet, and I said, "Do not push." Like this. Because he was half out. He was coming out. I went and opened the door and said, she's about to give the baby right now. She's having the baby. I walked back in. I had gloves on. I'm getting ready to deliver the baby. Right? The doctor comes running in. He looks at me, and I said, "Well, you got it now." And he goes, "Well, why you have gloves on?" I said, "Because if you weren't here, I was going to deliver the baby." So I wound up cutting the cord and helping him with the delivery and everything.
Uh-huh.
And come to find out, they had the
Lance.
monitor hooked up wrong. It was showing her she was having the baby. She was having it, but it wasn't showing it. And I tell you
You
what,
think
I was-
Michigan
I-
sucks? You want the room
I
next
stood-
door.
I stood out of her reach because when I said, "No, you're not," I stayed way away from her for a while because I knew better. But then
Yeah.
20 minutes later, he stops breathing. Justin stopped breathing. And she's flying. I'm getting ready to pick up stuff. We're getting ready to move to our room. And I'm getting up, and all of a sudden the nurse goes running by me to the isolette with the baby.
What's up,
And
Mark?
I looked over at my wife and I said, "What? You stopped breathing." And I looked over at him and he said, "Yeah, he turned blue and stopped breathing." and they got him under a bright light. And I'm looking over there. He's not blue. Might have got a little side nose to the lips, but I can't really see it from where I'm at. I looked over there and I said, okay, you need 1.5 cc Narcan right thigh 14 gauge. Like that. And the nurse looked at me and I said, somebody needs to do that. You'll overdosed him. That new Bane overdosed him.
Yeah.
The
God, I
doctor
couldn't
comes
ma-
in, he said, get me some Narcan. And as soon as this is how you know it. You know it. They stuck him with the needle, didn't respond. Popped that sucker in, he started screaming.
Yep.
Where's the game at
Oh.
tonight?
Down in
Las
Texas,
Vegas.
Las
Houston.
Vegas,
Houston.
Houston. Okay.
Did he have to have all the hype before the games? You know,
Oh, for days.
because I've got it on TV now, and there's a load of people dancing around and the guy singing on stage.
Oh yeah, they have all kinds of entertainment stuff going on, and well, Joe, how many people they expecting to have at that game?
Whatever the stadium holds, they'll have it full. I'll show you what I'm dealing with right now. Here. But if I lose power,
Holy moly.
and you see right in the middle of that red spot, that's me.
Yep. That's snow, baby. Icy.
It's like a
Ice, ice.
flaming
No,
hot
that's-
Cheeto.
It's spitting.
That's the hail. All that purple's a hail,
Yep.
and it's a tornado warning, so it could be a water spout right there on the lakefront.
That's
But
just
that's
spitting.
hitting us right now.
Yeah, that's spitting over here in the UK.
All right, David. Everything is worse
Everything's
in the
bigger and
UK.
badder over there.
You
Come
go-
see this.
Yeah, you go Scotland. It's like that every day.
I want to know. Okay, when we had the earthquake over here the other day, how big was yours over in the UK?
Wait, what was yours in America? In New York? What, 2.5 or something?
1.7.
No.
2.7. Well, we can actually match you on that. Ours was 2.7.
The last biggest one we had, well, the largest one we've had here in the last 30 days is 4.1.
Yeah, well, we had 2.7, and that was Laura dropping her purse.
Yeah.
Are you close enough to Iceland to feel any of that stuff going on, or
No,
no?
no, it's
sure
too
he-
far out.
It's
I'm
on a
pretty
different
sure he-
plate.
Steve, I'm pretty sure he's just making shit up now.
I know. No, you
No,
don't have to
look-
be pretty sure. We know it is fact.
Wait, are you trying to? You're going to tell me we didn't have a 2.7 the other day?
No, we're
Yeah.
not saying that. We're talking what you were talking about, Laura.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're just making the shit up now.
Right. UK earthquake.
Where is this sweet little Laura?
She's
chat.
in the other room.
She's in chat.
What's up, Jody?
Yeah, I'm going to race home in about 30 minutes so I can make it for the kickoff.
There you go. 2.7, 0.6, 0.6, 1.5, 0.6, 1.9, 1.1, 0.9, 2, 0.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.4, 0.7, 2.5.
Well, until you get at least a 5.0 or you go through a 7.9.
Oh, that's our biggest one there, 3.9.
Norwegian Sea.
Yeah, it's just off the coast of Scotland. I'm not sure what the biggest earthquake is in the UK. I know we had one when we lived in North Wales and was directly under it. .1 was our strongest, and that was on Dogger Bank in 1931. And a 5.2 in 2008. But we don't tend to
Yeah.
build our stuff near earthquake zones.
Well, if that's the case, we couldn't build in California.
You got a point.
Yeah, I don't get why they built there.
Well,
Yeah, but
if you look at it though, the fault lines really are along the coast, and then they cut the San Andreas up from San Francisco, and it cuts all the way down and across, and it
Yeah,
comes
they don't
out
take-
over in the
they don't-
Gulf.
Yeah, but they don't actually build on the fault lines, did they?
No,
yeah, but the thing is though, too, the one thing you got to look at too is look at the United States whenever we have a major earthquake compared to other countries, and the building, we actually can build shit that withstands earthquakes to a certain extent. Other countries, they have like a 5.2 and half their fucking buildings get knocked down in their city.
well look at
I mean, we don't-
look at Japan the other day.
The US has done pretty good over the last 30, 40 years about especially building in areas like that.
As far as I know, no one was killed in that 7 was it 7.2 or 7.6 that they had, because their construction over there is phenomenal.
Well, I mean, and that's why you don't hear about a lot of buildings. Buildings don't collapse in the U.S. on a regular. It's
No,
as many buildings as we have in the U.S. It happens every great once in a while, to the point where it's not a common occurrence. But I mean, look at fucking China, dude. They're having buildings collapsing every other day. It's all about building practices.
Look at the construction.
Yeah, it's all building practices.
Well, in the last 2 days around the world, the largest is 4.9.
Shit, if you lived in a country where you were doing Belt and Roads Initiative, would you want to drive on anything they made? Fuck no. Dude, I wouldn't drive across a bridge they made. I wouldn't get into a 1-story building they made, fear of collapsing it. I wouldn't step foot in anything the Chinese have touched. No, I'm good.
New Guinea. 4.9 today. Excuse me. "32 earthquakes worldwide today, and since 2.5.
Oh, David, did you know that we own the U.S. actually has about 1 acre of sovereign soil in the U.K.?
Yeah, we want it back, you thieving shit.
You mean the embassy?
No. It's the JFK Memorial was actually land donated to the U.S. It's about an acre's worth of land. But anybody can walk back and forth on it, but technically it is considered U.S. soil.
Yeah, we use it for dog urination.
Oh man.
I'm only joking.
I had never heard of it before. I ran across a video where somebody was touring it and they were doing the whole history of it. But apparently when Kennedy was killed, a couple weeks after he was killed, England built a memorial for him on about an acre's worth of property and actually gave it to the U.S. government, and it's considered U.S. property. But like I said, anybody can walk in and out of it. It's not like there's guards or anything there. Like, you don't have to have a passport or not stupid like that to go in or out of there.
Hello, Tim.
I thought it was pretty interesting though. And
Oh,
then you guys have
him up again.
an
Hey,
oil rig, an old abandoned oil, not an oil rig, but it's similar to an oil rig.
Yes.
Right off the
About
coast.
Sealand.
Yeah, that became its own country.
Yeah, it's not its own country. They tried to declare itself its own country. The person that owns it, if you give him £5 or $5, he will make you a Lord of Sealand. Gives you absolutely no powers, but you can have Lord in front of your name.
Well, I was watching a documentary on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
And they were saying that they actually have their own currency and everything. Even though there's only like 1 or 2 people live on the fucking thing. I was like,
No
what?
one lives on it. You can't live on it. It's not big enough. There's
Have
no
you been
buildings
on
on
a
it. You can't
train,
build on
Justin?
it.
What do you mean if I've been on a train? Because the Chinese built most of their train lines in the US. Yeah, but that was back. No, don't even start with that. I'm talking about shit they're building today. I would not step
That
foot on
beep, a
anything.
day's wage for
Dude, look,
napping on the job.
for one, I have no desire to want to go to China, period, anyway. I just don't. And two, even if I did go to China, I'm saying I wouldn't step foot in any hotel that was more than 1 story. I wouldn't I wouldn't want to get on any trains. Yeah, I couldn't trust that.
China's very safe.
Just saying their building practices are horrible, dude. They actually had an entire modern skyscraper that was like 50 or 60 stories high. It started doing this weird shake not too long ago. And people took off running because they could hear the building vibrating. And then like
Yeah, don't
thousands of
worry
people
about
running
it.
down the street.
I
Yeah,
was just
fuck
leaning
that.
on it.
Like most of the Great Wall is nothing but more than a 36-meter wide dirt pile.
Well, it's still standing in most places.
The problem is you don't really hear the good stories out of China. You don't hear anything good. And that's because it doesn't make good news. You know, it ain't going to sell a newspaper. It ain't going to sell an advert.
I mean that's true, but I'm saying like the amount of stories coming out of there and like actual video footage and everything
Yeah, but you're
coming
talking
out of
about
there,
this. You're
buildings
talking about an
collapsing.
area.
Do you know another issue that they have? You know how many plants they've had blown up over there?
Yes, but
Major
you're talking about an
catastrophic
area
explosions.
that they built. They wanted to build this new city to get the farmers to move in. But
Those
the
are ghost
farmers knew
cities.
straight away it was being rushed. All right. And that's not the Chinese government, that's the builders. Yeah. That's why the Chinese government have kicked them all off it and started blowing the darn thing up.
No, I'm not talking about the ghost cities. I know what you're talking about.
Daryl asked us to be shared over in Fort Worth.
You can see some pictures here now coming to us from HD Chopper 8. You see some debris there in the middle of the street. We see quite a few emergency workers moving about there as well. The best that we've been able to discern so far is that this is some kind of a gas explosion.
Gas explosion?
And as you just saw there on your screen, reports of multiple injuries. We don't know the severity of those injuries. We are getting very little information on this at this point. Only
Hell
to
is
say
that? It looks like a big ass window or something.
the gas explosion.
was.
Storefront.
Oh, gas explosion.
Fort Worth
Yeah.
at Houston
Nope.
Street. You don't see a lot of activity on
That
that
will
street,
happen.
obviously, other than the emergency workers there.
Superman went whizzing past.
They are
About to get
no
changed.
doubt,
Okay,
shutting
David,
off different
where
streets,
was yours
around
over
that
there in the
hotel.
UK?
It looks like a significant
What's that?
amount of damage, at least
Explosion,
there
since
in the
everything's
street.
bigger
You
and
can
better
see,
over there.
what looks to
Oh, you want to see gas explosions over here?
almost to the bottom of your screen there that is laying on
Or
that
is it natural
sidewalk
gas
there.
explosion?
And it looks like we've got pieces of insulation and then some
Oh, that's
smaller-
actually the customer side there. So something in the building was fucked up.
You can see on those bottom 2 floors, especially the wraparound there around that building, it looks like we've got some compromise.
They had some
You
kind
hear
of
on the news tonight that
emergency crews there, you know, if you
on one of the big jetliners, the side door blew off in flight.
Yeah.
They are out there at least
And
doing
I guess
some
it was
emergency point, we don't see,
pandemonium on the plane.
ambulances and
Mhm.
people being rushed away and that sort of thing.
What was it?
Real scene coming to
A
us
section
there,
of the skin
out of
blew off
Fort
the
Worth. Again,
aircraft,
this is the
leaving
Sandman
here out of
Hotel,
Orange County.
there on Houston Street. We
Wow.
had heard of multiple.
California
Alaskan
flight-
Airlines,
There
they've
on
grown
your
the
screen,
the
but at this point, again, we
737
do not know the
Max
severity of those
air
injuries or
fleet
what
down.
types of injuries.
Oh
those
yeah,
are.
because the other one where the door blew off, right?
Difficult situation there at that
Yeah.
hotel.
No, well, this
crews
is
are
the skin
responding
itself,
to
but
right
they're
now.
saying
It is
where it
hard
was
to
at,
get
I
an
guess there's some
idea
loose
of
bolts.
the scale of this
Oh, wow.
response.
They
because we're
found
getting
on
into these
one of
buildings there,
the
in downtown Fort
either
Worth. And
American
so,
Airlines or
we may have
somebody else. They
emergency
found some
crews
loose
staged
bolts in
all
an
up and down these
inspection.
different roads and
There's
so
an
forth,
Atlantic from
like we normally would when we're
Atlantic
talking about
Airlines or something.
grass fire, and we've got a big
Well,
open
unfortunately,
field.
we won't get an official report for like a
Start
year or
all
two
the
because
personnel.
NTSB is very
We're going to
slow.
keep on
Sure.
working to get more.
They take a
information
year
on
to 2
what is
years before you
happening
get to
there,
see the reports.
and we will bring that to you here in the next few minutes. As we are looking into that, let's check in with.
Thanks, Daryl.
Okay, Steve, let's show you some of ours.
The hell is
It is
that?
a bit wet.
Well, we get a bunch of rain.
When we do it, we take the buildings out.
There you go.
Oh, where's that one? Hold on, let me find it. There was a crazy video that happened in the neighborhood not too long ago. They took out like 6 houses or something.
They all right for you, Steve?
Yeah.
When we go, we go.
You go when you go big.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about it right now. Section of the plane found in a backyard.
Wow.
They're showing on ABC News right now.
Now that
Is this the
sexual-
same
that was
one or
several
another one?
days that was several days ago.
Yeah,
The
that's
one
what
we're
I'm thinking.
talking about. There's another one?
Yeah, this one today. And
Oh my
it
gosh.
looks like it was the rear fuselage door because it just and the door was found in a neighborhood.
No, that's the one with the bolts in. That's the one American Airlines on.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that was the other day. Poor kid had his t-shirt ripped off, and his mum had to hold him in.
Mhm. Now, rapid decompression, that was we went through that. That was part of our training through flight school, being medical airvac. We had to go through a rapid decompression, and that's one thing you just cannot fathom what happens. They simulate because you're in most aircraft is about 9,000 foot pressurized at 9,000 feet. Say you're flying at 35 to 41,000 feet. It's pressurized right around 9,000 feet. So they moved us in from the one chamber of the decompression chamber. They moved us into that, shut the door, and in it they had a 2-inch hole that was just 2-inch hole going through the wall, and they left a basketball just inside there. There's nothing because when you go in there, every item is accounting for it going into that room and coming back out of that. And in the inside, it's a pipe that they would go through and turn down like this, and it was a big basket. When they blew the seals to simulate a window being blowing out, it's equivalent to a window on a passenger airline going out. That basketball ended up in that crate that quick from the other room.
Oh, yeah.
through a 2-inch hole.
Well, watch that, Steve. This was from like 4 months ago.
Are pinpointing a possible cause of the tremendous explosion that rocked a Pittsburgh suburb on Saturday.
Whoa.
5 people, including a 12-year-old
Wow.
boy, were killed. Fire officials say there was a problem with the hot water tank in the basement of the house that went up. 3 homes were destroyed in the blast, and the widespread fire that followed. At least a dozen.
Oh, I ain't fucking competing with that.
Yeah, that
Okay,
one was
start
bad.
searching, David.
Oh, we've had them, but the point is, when it comes to gas, you don't fuck around.
No, you don't. And a lot of those homes that have blown up and everything, especially here in the States, a lot of them are meth labs too.
Okay, why
There was
can't
that one.
somebody
watched a
stop
video a
sharing
couple of
for me?
months-
Because my whole thing disappeared. It won't. My stop share disappeared on me. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, a few months ago, I watched a video of some police who are raiding a house that they thought was a meth lab.
Mhm.
And you see the police officers going up to the door, and then all of a sudden there's an explosion. The house is completely gone, and the police officers just stood there with the battering ram, like, "What the hell?"
Man, that's unbelievable. That basement. Holy moly.
Oh, now they're showing downtown Memphis, Tennessee, a hotel had exploded. Oh, Fort Worth, Texas.
That's the one that we just showed, Daryl. That was the one I
Yeah.
was just showing.
Yep, at least 12 reported injured. Sandman Hotel.
Yeah, that was the one I was just showing. That was the link that Daryl had posted in chat, and I shared it. Andrew, you got that right. Dial 811 or whatever it is called Dig Alert. Because you will be responsible for everything that occurs if you do not call. Being in construction here in California all my life, working construction here, they had a place over here in the just off the downtown area of in the city of Irvine over here. This is decades and decades ago when there was no networks. Everything was all on AT&T telephone lines. The guys gone through and they dug into it, and what they did is they ended up hitting the cable system on this block, and it was a financial district.
Yeah. Joe, you know that flooding you just showed us? Yeah.
Yeah.
This was London. This was quite funny.
DC had a report on an anonymous
Watch this man all here.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Bad enough. That's some sewer.
That makes for a shitty day.
When you've just had your windows cleaned.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, but a
Makes your day kinda
backhoe had dug into it and hit the line. It ended up costing that trenching company, the digging company, and this is in like 1982. It was close to $20 million that they got nailed for because shutting down for the loss of service to these financial institutions. Monex and a bunch of other ones were in there. Wow, what's that?
This is the flooding in the UK this week. I think there's a football pitch around here somewhere. And there's definitely no baseball.
That's from all your flooding.
Yeah, there's no basketball going on there.
Power lines down.
No, they're just standard, them. We get them all over.
Yep, Andrew, you call 811 before you dig.
Yep.
Yep.
Look at that.
A lot of people don't know that's actually a free program too. You don't have to pay for that.
Yep.
Then they come out and make sure you don't get screwed.
Didn't that, Steve?
Plenty
Plenty of places to park about.
There you go. Go water scan.
We'd have people call in tickets just because they were putting a new mailbox in. And they would call in tickets, and everybody'd see like 5 locators out there locating lines.
Yeah, but you got to remember when you're putting a mailbox is where most of the times that's where the stuff is, because right there between there and that 10 feet coming on property line are where the utilities line are running. up
Oh
and
yeah,
down
yeah,
the
I know,
street.
but it's just funny that that these companies will send 5 different people out to locate like a about a 5-foot section
Mhm.
just so they can put a mailbox post in. But they do it though.
Last time we had to dig on the property in Laguna de Gale, I called over there, and then they had one company that came out and did it for 3 agencies. One they contracted out, and they were doing telephone data for Cox Communication and the gas company. They were doing all 3 at the same time. One guy was not a separate entity coming from every one. But more and more as this stuff is going through on if the cities are doing their smart work, they take the as-built drawings and they put them on their GIS mapping for their local city or county or wherever it is, and then you know where the stuff is at.
And you'd be surprised how much I mean, it's a small percentage, but there's actually like lost infrastructure out there that you'd be surprised the utilities have no idea where the fuck it's located.
Oh, I know.
But it's in their system that they have a certain junction box here or they have something here, but then they can't find it. Like so our company, the company I was working for,
For the gas, doing
the
the
gas
stuff.
company here, they bought out all the little towns used to be mom and pop
Right.
utility operations, right? They own the utilities for each little city. There was a different family. Well, when all the big utility companies came into Florida, they started buying up all these mom and pop utility companies and making one big conglomerate. Well, that's what the gas company did around here. Well, some of these guys didn't keep very good records. And the little note cards that they used to keep in the files were all like written in cryptic, like only they knew what the note meant. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like they were describing the location, but not saying exactly where it was at.
Yeah.
But by the time we got the company, all these old guys are already done retired and been gone for 10 years. Nobody left. And so nobody knew how to read any of the shit. And there was a lot of meters and stuff that we couldn't find. That, I mean, it was insane. I had 5 gas meters that I could never find.
Wow.
But the gas company had no idea where these meters were located. They looked and looked and couldn't figure it out. I mean,
coming from in other words, coming from the street, coming from the service line, going on to the property is what you're talking about. You couldn't find the property gas meter.
No,
they didn't know where apparently they couldn't locate these 5 meters. That's what I'm saying.
Meters on the building.
I don't
That's
know
what I'm saying.
why
The meter on the property.
right.
On the
There
building.
was 2. Well, there was 2 supposable gate stations that they couldn't find. Now these are supposed to be stations where, like, it's like your main hookup station in the whole city. They have multiples of them. There was 2 of them they couldn't even find because they had took over this company right when I started, so they were trying to figure all this shit out. Oh yeah, it was a nightmare, dude, trying to find these things.
Yeah,
like I said,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying it's because they didn't keep good records. I mean, it was
because most of the gas lines and stuff that are put in, especially on gas meters, not so much water or electrical, because you can find it out through electric, but on gas, they used to put a tracer wire on it. The gate tracer wire was put into the right alongside of it. So you could sit there and pick up the tracer wire coming up to the house at the meter. If you look at it, be a piece of number 14 solid wire or something, you put it on there, you'd send the signal down through that, and then your locator, you could find it. But you're saying you couldn't even find where the meter was.
yeah, like there was 5 of them that they had to write off for me, saying that it wasn't my fault, but they were having issues locating them. And their guys spent a couple of months going through all this shit trying to figure out where everything was at.
Yeah. Rigor, same here in the States. When you call for the 811 that Andrew put in there, or Dig Alert, when you come on there, they come on to the property if they're going to be digging, because what they need to do is identify the area. But when you call in, if you're doing it properly, you're telling them at the location of where you're going to be on the property, just not the whole property. So if it's something that they're having to go down, say a right of way going down in front of a bunch of piece of properties and everything, you're going to have them going up onto the property marking it, because we had to have it do it on ours, because we were going to be going through to dig in for digging up our main water line coming into our commercial building. So had them come out. I knew where everything was for electrical, and the gas, the route was the only one I was really unsure of, and I knew where the AT&T telecommunications was. But you haven't come over there, and like I said, they did all three at the same time.
Yeah, there was who was it? One of our guys and the guy from I think it was Xfinity.
Mm-hmm.
They both missed where their lines were at over here in our town off the main road that goes through our town, and they both completely mismarked their lines. The backhoe driver not only busted a gas line, but he busted a communications fiber optic line. And both our company and the Xfinity had to pay for it themselves out of pocket. Dude, that was like around $140,000 fuck up. You're talking about a lot of money. Because he got fired right before I started with him.
Well, that's where I was telling you, clear back in the 80s, it cost them that like almost $20 million, and that was down for 24 hours. It was all that was for. But the thing is, it was Monex, which is a gold and money exchanging commodity. So everything was back. They were using, this DSL lines back then, but they had fixed blocks routers running 56K back and forth to their system. And the amount of money that they lost because it got hit, because they didn't call at that time Dig Alert, that's what it ended up costing their insurance company.
Oh yeah, fiber optic lines, those were one of the most expensive things to hit.
Yeah, because you got to pull the whole thing from start to finish all over again. You can't just splice them.
The fucking on average, I think they said it was like $50,000 to $70,000 if you hit one of those.
Well, it looks like the bad weather's gone now.
Well, that's good.
But I ran outside real quick because I heard all this yelling out here, and they were out. The girl downstairs was down there sweeping water through the breezeway to get it out of there so it wouldn't get in her apartment.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I got the video. I took a video of her doing it. I'm gonna put it up as a YouTube short.
There you go.
Was it saving your apartment?
Yeah, Mark, here they use spray paint, and the spray paint will wash off. It's not it lasts for about 6 months. So
that's at your apartment?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then we got hit with hail, and the reason we got hit with hail is because it was either a water spout or a tornado hit right in the lakefront, right at Mandeville Harbor, where I fly all the time. And they had Fox 8's weather cameras were out there. You could see it hitting everywhere, and it was hitting here. It hit my window. So my car is parked over here, so our guys will go look at that in a little while. Hopefully, it wasn't big enough to do anything.
We're supposed to be getting that storm tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. Because we
yeah,
got
Mark,
warnings
but what I was saying,
about
yeah,
it.
they use color code spray paint for just like you're talking about what they were doing there. And what they'll do is they'll mark it, dash it. They got a walk behind with the spray cans on a pole like Joe's picker upper clamper he's got there, except it has upside down spray cans, and they'll just walk along and they'll dash it every so often going
Yeah.
on from the street, coming the utility onto the property for whatever they're picking up, for electrical, for water, for um, um,
Yeah, we
telephone.
we got even more underground now too with all the newer neighborhoods.
Mhm.
Like you drive to the newer neighborhoods now, you don't see any telephone poles, nothing, just street lights. Because they've started burying all the electrical.
Yeah.
Why the fuck they didn't do that to begin with? I don't know why. It's like, all right, let's 200 poles, 300 poles go down, right? You would think, maybe it's a good time to go ahead and bury this shit while we're at it. Nope, let's put 300 more poles up so I can get them knocked down again next time a hurricane comes through.
Well, you got to remember one thing. You got to gain right of way the moment you go underground. And there it's the right of way rights that they have to have and get from every homeowner that they're running from, unless they're running down the middle of the street, which typically they're not. They're going to be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like, I think when the natural disasters happen and it's time to have to fix all that, I think that's a good time to just go ahead and do it. And then over a course of so many years, you'll start to get more and more underground. Because there's actually a lot of the neighborhoods that did have their stuff underground, they're the ones that don't get hit as bad.
Yeah, because here where we are, except for like in the newer subdivisions, that when they built them, they, like you said, they put it all underground from the beginning when they built the new subdivisions. But the older sections of Dana Point, and we're Capistrano Beach, which is part of Dana Point, were all overhead lines, and they were getting estimates for just the part of the hill. And it was so funny because everybody's going to the city hall meetings and the planning commission meetings saying, yeah, we want to have it. I'm sitting there going, well, do you realize how much it's going to cost you out of your own pocket? They go underground, and they were just talking about the one section of Dana Point. They were talking in the roughly 28 million to put the utility poles underground, and then the average, which they had even come up with that, but I came up with some figures for some people. It was going to be anywhere from the cheapest at about $10,000 to about $20,000 for you as a homeowner, then to take everything you've got to go underline and go out to the utility. Hello, Dom.
Just a minute, Steve. Excuse me, Dominic. What time do you call this?
No, I fell asleep.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good enough. What time do you call
Holy
this?
molars.
I had a nap. Well, I was,
You're the timekeeper. You've got to rely
I
on
hit
you.
that.
Is it big
No,
enough?
That looks cool, Joe.
No, because
Well, if nothing else, you can just smack him over the head.
all went on
He knows
early,
I can
stayed
throw it
on
away.
for about 15 minutes, and I thought I'll just take a seat, and I fell asleep in the chair for an hour.
Dominic, sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly, Andrew. Those paint sprayer adapters are great.
You know, as soon as your son comes through the door, rob him for his wallet.
He's got a gun. I'm not messing with him. He
got
comes
a bigger
through with a
gun.
gun.
You got a bigger
Yeah,
gun.
got a real
you
gun.
got to catch him in the back though and be like, bro, this is bigger than yours. Give me your wallet.
You know, it'd be great with that.
I tell you,
Turn it into a
another
water
day,
pistol.
no respect. The other day, I told him I was going to stick him with one of them needles from the cleans the printer head. He looked at me and he went, "I'll kick you."
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, that's the same way here. And that's why I was explaining to Justin, to go underground, you've got to have the right-of-way rights they have to go through is unbelievable. Because I'm dealing with that right now at the building that I manage over in Laguna Niguel. The city wants to come in and wants to annex part of the property because they're going to widen the whole entire main road, plus put a right-hand turn pocket in. And we'll lose part of the property, but the one that's on a corner is a car wash. They're going to lose like 10 feet on one side and 10 feet on the other side, the whole entire length on the one street and the length on the other. And by the time you go through the legal right-of-way, all the bookwork that has to be done. That is time consuming.
Well, I mean, and to be fair though, California is a pain in the ass to get any construction shit done anyway. They make you
Yeah,
jump
why do
through
you
a
think
lot of
Musk?
hoops.
Why do you think Musk double flipped off Newsom and moved his giga plant to Texas?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like California's already a big enough pain in the ass getting permits and all that, and they overregulated like crazy on a lot of stuff.
Well, here I'm going to bring this up because I was just downloading it because I'm pulling a bunch of stuff that I have to get together for our meeting coming up on the 23rd for our. I told you I got appointed. I got picked to be appointed onto our city for the next general plan for the next 20 years. Where is it? Public safety. Is that it? I think it was.
I mean, if it wasn't for California being picky as shit as they are, they would have had I-15 widened and paid for by the casinos in Vegas. They were trying to widen
Right.
it all the way from Barstow all the way to Vegas. And
To get the 15, to put the 15
Yeah.
in. Yeah, I remember
dude,
that.
the
mess.
Nevada was offering to pretty much Nevada and the casinos were offering to pay to do 2 more lanes each way, all the way from Barstow, California, all the way to where they widened it coming into Nevada. That's a lot of money that they were offering just to do for them, and then because California wanted to use their engineers, and they went back and forth and it never happened.
Yeah, the engineers wanted to make the money.
Well, when Musk told Newsom to go pound sand and he went to Texas, from the time he told Musk and his plant was open here in California, he wouldn't have had his permitting processing completed, and he had that place open and running in Texas.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it would have took three times as long to get everything together.
It just take forever for everything, and the cost. That's what I'm going to bring up here.
I just don't know how people can vote people in like that want to do so much overreach.
And it's still raining.
It's called the sheep following.
Joe, get your showers gel out and your shampoo. Go outside and have a wash. Save
Yeah.
yourself some money.
Tell you what,
Are you still planning on live streaming the game tonight?
Nobody really got back to me about it, so
I just was wondering if you were going to do that or not. Because
Well, I'm watching-
there's a lot of people out there that they don't have ESPN.
Well, guess what?
It's illegal.
I don't have ESPN, but I have Sky Sports, and it's on Sky Sports.
ABC ought to cover
Go
it too.
Blues.
Lynn's got satellite TV, and she can't get any of that.
With his games at tonight.
At 7:30 Eastern time.
Okay, Justin, you were talking about cost. This is for our local city, and this was 1921, and this is for a table of city fees. Okay, if you're building a new home, your rough rates to go through for the city. Now, this is the planning fees, engineering fees, building fees, park fees, housing fees, art and public costs, fire protection, school fees, water service fees, county transportation fees, and plus the transportation corridor, $34,655 in fees if you were going to build a new home. And that's from January. I think that was January or February of 2021.
I'll just check down the back of the sofa, see if we've got any of that.
Yeah. That's just for you to go through to get approved. That's not you hiring an architect and designing
know.
your home or nothing. That's just the fees at the city.
Somebody somewhere's getting rich.
Hmm.
Yep. Hello, Bill. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we got this stuff. I'm pulling down some other stuff that I know we're gonna have to have for this new
This game's on till 4:30 in the morning. How long did he play for?
3.5 hours.
Yeah, you got halftime in between.
How long's halftime? An hour?
Depends upon how many stars they got.
It's probably about 40 minutes. You will never see me make anything like this again.
Doing it all off stream, are you?
No, but Joe, you have to, because we want to compare it how long it took you to make on the old machine versus if you did it on the new machine.
I was waiting for Dominic to look up if he didn't hear it. The new machine.
What new machine?
Getting a new printer.
Oh,
I
okay.
called up. You didn't hear it either, Justin. I called up Crutchfield where I bought it from, and I said, "Okay, I got a problem." I said, "This thing keeps jamming in the gears, it's breaking off the filament." So then I've got to take the machine apart to fix it. And she said, "Well, let me get you the tech support because she said it's under warranty." I said, "I know, so I'm calling now." They had 60 days with them, a year warranty. So I called. They got tech support, and I started talking to the guy, telling him what it was doing. He said, "Well, you want us to send you out another one?" I said, "Oh, you want a refund like that?" He said, "We could do that." And I said, "Well, is the other one going to do the same thing?" And he said, and he didn't say anything, right? He said, "Hold on a minute, see what I can do." And he came back and he said, "Tell you what we can do. We can He said, "What's happening is the gears are what's doing it. Let me upgrade you to the other model, the M5." He said, "We won't charge you anything different like that. We'll just give you that one instead." He said, "Because that one has a different gear mechanism and it doesn't pinch them. It's like a direct drive." And he says, "So we could do that for you." And I said, "Well, that sounds good." I said, "So what are you going to do?" He said, "Well, I'll send it out today. You should have it Wednesday. You have a label, just pack the other one up and send it back to us." He said, "If we don't get the other one back in 14 days, we'll charge you for this one." I said, "Okay, that's no problem." I said, "So how many of these have you been doing this with?" And he said, basically, he said, "We've had a few." I said, "So you think it's a defective item?" He said, "Nah, I can't really say that, but we've been replacing them." And the same thing happened to Johnny. And Johnny was printing forever. And I said, it happens when you're doing a long print. If it gets any kind of tangle with any kind of strain, instead of it trying to let you know that, it's pulling it and trying to pull it so it breaks it. And when it breaks it off, that's when
the
it
spool
jams
is
up.
on the wrong side. That's where you're getting your
Well, I
tension.
agree.
That's where you're getting
So-
all the tension in that spool.
And the newer model not only tells me if it stops the unit if it feels a snag, it stops the unit if it feels like it's not extruding anything. It lets me know. It's also got the camera on it, so it's going to be monitoring the whole thing. And I can monitor it the whole thing. And it's actually not as wide. It's a
Up,
little
Daryl?
about the same height, and the spool's on the other side.
Right. If
Now,
they
how
can
much
even
more
stop for another
difference?
40 minutes, why the hell are they still wearing their helmets?
Well,
Why?
the difference,
Well, they
the
get
What's the
warmed
difference would
difference
have
up.
in
been
price?
$150.
They get warm up.
Wow.
Warm
Yeah,
up in a helmet?
$150 more.
Yeah,
any
you got to
comes
do
with a spool of
scrimmage
white, too.
before the game.
You can do a warm up.
Quarterback's got to pitch some balls and
When I do these football games, when I do all the high school and college games, they're out there an hour before the game doing all their warm ups. I got to be out there an hour before the game. I got to be out there an hour and a half before the game, so I'm out there for an hour before the game to get the warm up pictures. Then I got to be there until the game's over with and all the other pictures. So I'm usually about a 5 hour game. So it's supposed to ship out today. I got a feeling it won't ship out till tomorrow. Yeah, got a tracking number.
And what, you just return it, the other one back in the other box?
in the box. Yeah.
Well,
When it gets
I
there?
got the box. So I told him, I said, I have the box for it. He said, well, do this. He said, don't worry about it right now. He said, when it comes in, just take it out, hook it up, take the other one down, put it back in the regular box. The label will be in the box. You said you just pull the label off the box, put a return label, and just give it to UPS. He said, we just have to have it back within 2 weeks after the time you receive this one.
Or otherwise you
He
get
said
charged
that-
for both,
Or I'll be charged for the new one.
one.
Right. The new one's regular cost is $4.99. I paid $3.59. So I saved $140 there.
Oh, hopefully that one a little bit better for
Well,
you.
he told me, he said, you'll see a big difference in this one. He said, because the filament comes, instead of coming in from the top, comes in from the side. And it stays on that bar with it. So there's no strain on it. And the wheel on this side is over here. So you only have about 12 inches worth of filament going in. I think that helps out a little bit. I like the fact that it's gonna, it's got also
That's
on
a
this
long ass
side,
drive there.
Justin, on this side, it also has a touchscreen, so you could program everything from there. You don't need the computer or your phone.
Okay.
All
cool.
that's on it.
Sounds like a better deal.
Oh, it
Well, I
sounds like
mean,
a real
any-
good deal.
Any
Yeah.
free upgrade is not a bad way to go.
Yeah, I can
Especially
deal
if
with
they're not
that.
charging you for it.
Especially touchscreen, he doesn't have to worry about his cell phone, controlling it or whatever.
Yeah, I could work it right there and pause it and change the heat and change the temperature. That's what it's for, to monitor your temperatures, and it's basically a little monitor. And then it's got if I'm on my computer with it, it's showing me the printing. It's showing me as it's printing, it's showing me like the percentage of the print, and it's also showing me the print and I can make it a hyperlapse. So I can do a hyperlapse on a print. So I'm gonna be having a lot of hyperlapse shorts. They just helped me out a little bit.
Did you go on YouTube and go look up what people have to say about that printer?
Yeah, people have said good stuff about that one, but
Hey,
they've
Joe,
also said good stuff about the other one.
Joe, if you want to see, you want to send me that tracking number, I'll double check, make sure it's on the way.
What tracking number?
You're like, why the hell was it diverted to Florida? What the fuck?
Why was it delivered, Justin? It's not wasn't delivered here. So I'll check the tracking number in a little bit. If it gets on a truck tonight, it'll be here Wednesday.
I have strain on my printer. Mine's mounted on the top as the anchor mate. No breaking problem.
Yeah, Johnny started to do that too. Started to crack
Well,
off
like
into
I
it.
said,
That's what he said about.
maybe, well, that's what I was saying. When you said Johnny started having problems, then I was making me think, well, wonder if it was just a small design flaw with the printer.
Well, that's what made me call them. And because I told him, I said, I look at the gears, and it's metal gears, and all it is gears that grip it as it goes through. So if it splinters off, if it makes one splinter off a little bit, then it starts flattening it out, so it can't make it through the hole, or it breaks it off. And when it breaks
Actually,
it off,
Bill, he was actually looking at a dryer for his filament to keep it stored in there.
yeah,
But the one was the one you were looking at was the one from Acre Make, right? But they haven't
Yeah.
actually released it yet.
They haven't released it yet.
It's just advertised on their site at the moment. And the ones on Amazon, you can't find one on really Amazon that carries more than 2 rolls. They're all really small ones.
Let's be honest here, though. He needs to give the filament time to have a break anyway. It's constantly printing.
Yeah. Joe, did you see what Bill's posting in the comments?
No, I got it
He's
up.
saying
I
about
can't find it on my phone.
drawing your filament.
Oh yeah, when I put them in, I put them in with the silica gel, so it's getting the moisture away from them. Yeah, I got to find where the comments went.
No, you don't want moisture on your filament, Andrew.
No.
That's
No.
it's opposite.
You know what I hear is good for that are those dry cabinets for cameras and stuff like that.
You
Yeah, I
know,
got-
temperature control cabinets to keep it the humidity out of it.
David AZ
that's what
actually
I got.
repurposed one of those, and he can fit like 20 or something plus rolls in it.
Yeah.
That's all my cameras in the back. I've actually got a whole shelf I could use for that, but the humidity thing's different. I got to look at what the humidity. If I got to stay at 50 degrees, 50% humidity for the cameras, or it messes up the rubber.
Mhm.
So if 50% humidity is good, I'll start stacking them in there when they're open.
Because actually, the way some people were drying their filament, you can actually, I think, you put it in the oven at like 100 and something degrees, like really low, for a certain amount of time. I can't remember the exact numbers, but
Yeah.
you put it in there for a certain amount of time, and it will get rid of all the moisture out of it.
I can do it fast enough to stick them in the microwave.
Oh, for
Not a good idea.
It'd be a plastic glob in a fucking microwave.
I was gonna see how long it took for somebody to say that. On the air fryer, I could do it in the air fryer. Hot fryer.
Actually, and
But even when you pull
Actually-
it out, Justin, like for you where you live with the moisture, you'd get it out of the oven, you put it back out, it's gonna suck the moisture back up right out of the
see
air.
what I have is I have a
Hey,
Yeah,
Ryan.
I
how you
should-
doing?
Hello.
I got an ice chest that
Alright.
has about 3,000 of those little silicone pouches all lining the bottom. And so all my open rolls are inside there, sitting in there with those pouches. I bought 3 or 4 huge bags of those silicone pouches off of Amazon.
Mhm.
Just filled the whole bottom up. There's a couple thousand of them in there, at least. And then every time I get a silicone pouch, like out of a bottle of aspirin or something, I always walk by and just toss it in there.
Simple solution. Get yourself a metal box or a wooden box. Buy some of these. 2 in, one on one side, one on the other side. Problem solved.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what brand is that over here? Dapper, something like that.
Ridex or Rid something. I
Ridex.
forget- Yeah.
That was quite expensive, that, actually.
A lot of
Yeah.
RVers use those.
It's more
for
expensive
RVs.
than that here.
Well, we normally get 10 for £5 in the local shops.
Wow.
They
Oh,
practically
yeah,
give them away over here.
that's what I thought it was, Rigger. It definitely looks like the Hellboy revolver. I was thinking the same thing.
Put it this way, Joe said it was a one-time shoot. So you tried nicking his printer, he's going to test it.
No, not doing it.
No, he wants to send that printer back so he gets all his money back.
No, that was not the point. I said if Justin was to steal his printer,
Oh, Justin was.
Well, I mean, the best option that Joe could do is send me that one, and then when he gets the new one, we're all good to go. I mean, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
no, then his credit card will be charged
Hey,
again.
but, Steve, that's all Sublantics. That's not my problem. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Joe won't be Joe won't be using the 3D printed one. He'll be using the one that comes from the factory
Right.
made of metal.
Well, all I hear from Steve is wah wah wah. Nope.
Hey Joe, you watched that video of mine yesterday, didn't
That's
you?
a lot of players on the pitch. What the hell?
Yeah.
Did I make you dizzy? I did enough
Yeah,
rolls.
the other day, too, flying to Avada, I flew to Avada standing up and got dizzy. Got
Serious
nauseated.
question here. How many players are there in a team when they start?
You mean
What are you
NFL?
playing?
Probably 60 or 70 players?
No, 53.
On the ground.
On
sorry,
the ground. They're not
On
all.
the field.
On the
You mean
field,
when-
11 on each side, 22.
Yeah. While they're playing the game.
While they're playing the game, but there's a
But
whole
they
bunch
have-
of them sitting on the bench.
So while they're playing the
Yeah.
game, there's 22 players each side on the field.
Yeah.
11 on each side.
Yeah.
Oh,
11
that's
on
all
each side.
I was going to say, that
22
pitch,
total.
I was just seeing this massive crowd. I was thinking, where the hell are they going to run with that freaking thing?
Well, there's more players than just 11 because there's a lot of bench warmer players. But,
Yeah.
but
See,
yeah,
I
your
think
main
Vanderbilt
players.
dresses.
Yeah, but
It's gonna
I'm
be
just used
11.
to seeing the game start and you just got these so many players on the pitch and off they go.
Well, it's not as big a deal to switch players in the NFL as it is where you guys have to, hold the sign up with their number and the whole,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like over here now, though, with rugby, they don't stop the game for a substitute. You just see a player just go, "Bleh," and he just sort of rolls off the pitch and another player rolls on.
Whatever works. Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Keep the game moving. Definitely.
You always have to
Yep.
get one, don't you, that's wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Jed, your lowest level player, I think when we looked it up, their average salary was a little over 700,000, right, Dominic? When we looked it up that day, the NFL
What,
players,
yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
think
the
that's the
NFL.
min. I think it's the
Oh,
min
minimum
in the
was-
I think
NFL.
so, yeah.
it was 700 and something $1,000 is the minimum contract pay for any player.
That's for the
Yeah,
water boy.
200.
The rain's over. Y'all can go out there.
Shit, the like the
Is that,
mascots, bro.
is that a game or a
Steve.
season?
Mascots are fucking 6-figure jobs.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
The
is that a
guys will
game
make
or
well
season?
over 100. Do what?
Is that a game or a season?
No, for a whole season. Your minimum football player contract's going to be 700 and some change.
Yeah.
And that's like a nobody player. That's really not.
could be a backup
Mentioned.
kicker or whatever,
Yeah, just somebody that they were good enough to get drafted, but they weren't good enough to really be known. Nobody really talks about them or anything. They're not in the limelight at all.
You know who you really want to be? The long snapper. You just want to be the snapper.
That's big
Jack the
money.
Ripper.
Big
Upset
money for not
foosballs
much
to death.
work.
Like Lee Evans says, the way football players are paid these days, yeah, they walking out onto the pitch, and the moment they're kicking the ball, they're going 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, adding it all up as they're running along the pitch.
Well, that's
Well,
what I
in
said.
the
Like,
NFL
ridiculous
isn't
amounts of
anybody
money.
running around there kicking the ball,
like that's what I was saying. Mascots, depending on the football team, they can pull a couple $100,000 in a year just being a mascot.
Yeah, the guys that are dressed up. Yep.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of money in the NFL for sure, or even pretty much any major American sport, whether it's NASCAR, baseball, basketball, football. I mean, all of them have their $100 million contracts and crazy shit and endorsements. And
But your sports are more like state versus state, where ours is town versus city versus village.
yeah, we don't have villages over here.
Well, you do, but the size of our cities.
Yeah, like
I'm just nipping down to the village centre, side of London.
like Dominic said in the AFL, I think they just recently, not too long ago, just got their first like $1 million contract for a player. I was like, dude, that's nothing over here. I was like, yeah, it's normal to see $100 million contract or something ridiculous.
When you're seeing players over here going for 100 odd million, it's like, what the freaking hell are they on?
Get the U.S. soccer
Not
team
many of them.
pay.
There's not many
Paid
of
a
them that we have that are over $1 million. Probably
That's what I
half a
said.
dozen.
That's a big number over there for a contract.
Yeah.
But
The Michigan guys are on a march.
it's like the U.S. soccer team
That's the
paid what,
the Michigan band.
Hurricane.
they paid $500 million.
Do Washington have a band as well?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
As far as I know.
Oh, he's got a good view, hasn't he? With
Yeah.
that girl on his hands. Just looking up there.
And a lot of rain.
Oh, she's on the blob! And drop.
Joe's got the nice little storm running through right now.
It's about over with.
Can you imagine what the college pays just to have those guys all over the field? And they're college students, but they're not doing it for free.
Mhm.
Transportation, housing, everything else.
Oh, dude, there's so much money in it in college football. That's what I
Oh,
said,
check
dude.
another advert. Jesus.
Yeah.
Big
too many.
universities, dude, they have like, you gotta remember all their, especially the big Ivy League schools. Man, they get so much donations from former alumni and everything.
Well, I think you probably could correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, but I think they were talking today that ESPN paid them $380 million to have the rights to the game.
Yeah, that doesn't
For what
surprise
game?
me.
This game right here, the final
Yeah, and
Oh,
that's
for tonight,
yeah.
for tonight's game.
for
you mean?
tonight's game. Yep, one game.
I wouldn't be surprised because it's going to be just like a Super Bowl for advertising costs.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, Harvard alone we all know is an Ivy League school. At the end of the fiscal year of 2022, they made $50 billion. That's fucking insane for a university, for an Ivy League school. They were at the top of the list, but like I said, there's a lot of universities that are making multi-billions a year.
It's all about the TV rights, which is why the whole conference realignment crap, which I'm not excited about. I think I'm going to end up being a hater of college football now. I hate professional football.
Yeah, what do you think about the Scottish First Minister? Instead of calling out the Lockerbie disaster as a terrorist incident, yeah, he called it an air traffic disaster.
Yeah.
And he's the First Minister of Scotland. It went down like a lead balloon.
Yeah, no shit.
They know a disaster.
I'm hearing that the game is on Prime, Amazon Prime.
It's on everything over here.
Well, it is for you.
I've got it on normal TV.
Oh,
They
come
say it's
on.
on-
You know there's that black market guy with a drone up live broadcasting it, right? Just find him.
Yeah, but why would you need him? There are so many dodgy sites out there that'll be showing this game. Yeah. But anyway, I've got it legally and legit.
Yeah, they're talking about the Michigan game, Andrew.
So is Michigan classed as the home team because they've got the band on the pitch? So why not Washington have a band on the pitch?
Yeah, I heard about that. Do you have a link to that, Tim? I was going to look at that.
Generally,
Yeah.
David, they paint each team in an end zone. Each team's name is in one end
Oh,
zone.
I get that, but no, Michigan
Yeah,
band.
the bands trade places. The bands trade places. There's only one band on the field at a time.
All right. So Washington.
And
will be
Michigan's out there now.
Yeah, so Washington will come out next. It's fine.
Look at I just typed in up in the chat, Michigan Washington football game streaming on. Here it is, and there's the price.
Oh, for Sling Start, you got to subscribe to it. But I'm
Yep,
saying
you
it's
gotta
on it's
subscribe
on.
to it. Yep.
I'm looking right now on Amazon Prime to see if it's on.
Stop share.
Yeah. If you know what you're doing, there are a lot of other ways of getting the game.
Yeah, I see a lot of people are starting to do that now, Tim. Even Dan did a gaming channel now.
What time does the game start?
7:30 Eastern time, which it's 7:24 now.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 5 minutes.
So it should be
According
starting
to
here
our
at 4:30.
TV, according to our TV, it's another 29 minutes.
Yeah, because they've got the pre-match.
Yeah, it probably doesn't start until 8.
Yeah, pre-match.
So I said, Tim, if you just grabbed 1% of that community, you'd be fucking massive. Just 1%. Even less than 1%.
One of the announcers on the TV just put on a Michigan helmet.
Yeah. And now doing some British Queen wave.
Oh, nice.
Someone's going to throw something at him in a minute. Donk.
This is the pre-game show. There you go.
Anyways, y'all have fun. I'll see y'all later. I need
Okay,
to
right,
relax.
Rod.
Later on.
Take care.
Yeah, another 15 minutes of this crap before the game.
Trying to find it. Scrolling.
Corey said a private Zoom later.
Huh? What,
Corey
Corey?
mentioned something about a private Zoom later. If anybody, I'm guessing he's going to stream it for those that can't see it.
Okay.
Also,
Well, the
yeah,
thing is, there's a lot of people that don't have regular
I was able.
cable.
Yeah, I was able to watch it earlier last time. The one game was on, but now it's saying it's not available. I don't know.
You see, I'd stream it, but unfortunately, I'm not sure how much of this game I'm going to be awake for. So if it's on until 4:30 in the morning.
Well, what Justin's plan was to direct stream it to people that he invites on a private one.
Yeah.
Right, 'cause
Otherwise,
you
you can't stream it out there and just let it go. You know.
No, they'll shut you down real quick.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Doing a private stream, I was going to say, I could stream it in a private stream, but you might have me snoring at some point.
Yeah,
But
we
see,
did that one night.
Justin can't get it, so
We did that one night, Steve. We had like 6 or 7 people, and we were all watching the UFC fight, the Jake Paul fight.
Okay.
Yeah, we sat and watched it. There was what at least 7 of us in there.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah.
And I kept losing the feed.
Ooh, Reacher's out. The 6th episode. Nice.
Oh, great.
I know I keep trying to like wait for more episodes to build up, Tim, but then I get antsy and I want to watch it because it's such a good show. I wish they would actually do more scenes in the show where he helps innocent people. I kind of was hoping that that's where the show was gonna go. Like each episode would be him helping somebody else, but they've kind of went into this whole long storyline about their friend being killed. But it's still really good. Corey's going to set up, must be doing a Discord server, Corey.
Justin, I'm going to send you a link. One, be aware there are pop-ups. And
Corey's about to set it up anyway.
Yeah. Well, just in case, if I send you the link in the private chat, just in case you have any issues, there's loads of different links. So you will get a pop up, close it off, click the link again, it'll work, and use a VPN. Yeah, I'll share it to everybody anyway.
Boo boo. I actually like that site that I found, Movie 4K. That's a very nice site. Very stable too. I don't have no issues with it.
Which one's that?
Movie 4K.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. You can get like all the newest movies and stuff. I can't send it in Messenger because YouTube or Facebook keeps blocking it. They won't let me send that particular link.
Yeah, like I said, I could show a link of it, but
it will tell you
start
whether
playing
it's
this, they're gonna hit post stream, so I'm not gonna bother. But I've put a link in the chat. If you click that, make sure you got your VPN up and running. There's loads of links there of websites showing it.
But this site here will actually tell you too whether some of the newest movies that are still in theaters, they actually have like camera copies, but it tells you right at the top camera HD.
No, I'm
Makes it
looking
really
on
easy.
Amazon trying to find that, Andrew. It's because it says it's on Amazon. Not shopping.
Hey, what? It's going to be pretty crap if the people in the UK can get it and the yours in America can't.
Well, see, Daryl, Messenger has gotten really uptight about sending certain links through it. Sean actually got banned off of Messenger for a week because he sent me a link to a printer update for the Ender 3. And it was just an update for a link from GitHub.
You're kidding.
For an update. And they flagged it as a possible virus or something, but it wasn't. And YouTube actually banned Sean off of fucking Messenger for a week. This is a couple years ago. He was like, what the fuck's happened? I was like, I don't know. He goes, dude, they won't let me send messages. They blocked me. I said, what?
Right. Has anybody checked that link in the chat that I put and see if I can get any of them working? Because they're completely free.
I don't see it in the chat.
Oh, it's in the private chat.
It's in the private chat on Zoom.
Private. Okay.
On Zoom.
And if anybody hasn't seen the movie Rebel Moon, not bad. Pretty good. You can tell it's kind of inspired by Star Wars.
Okay.
But it's pretty good. Really good movie.
Secure connection
surprised.
failed.
What, on them links?
Yep. Yeah, it's a no-go.
There's a new movie out with Jason Statham called The Beekeeper.
Zoom link.
Sounds pretty good in the description.
There you go.
What the heck is that?
That was to put a can in, and I got to paint the type to do the USA drone flyer because I had to put all that in gold. But
I was going to say that is one hell of a large Stein.
Yeah.
Joe was trying to look like a Mississippi pimp.
lower night ward pimp.
He said, let me walk around with my golden chalice.
What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to see if I can get Virgin Gold to work. If I can, Laura's going to send me a Zoom link. I'll invite you all in, and I'll just leave it playing if I fall asleep. Yeah.
Well, if
leave
you
it going.
Have Laura email that link to Lynn.
Yeah. Anyone that wants it, up to 100 people, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, email the link to Lynn.
Let me just see if I can get this Virgin Golf thing to work.
Some of them are okay, Tim, but definitely the HD is the way to go on the movies. But what's great about that site is as they actually get a HD copy, they'll switch it. So usually after a week or two, you can come back in and they'll have a HD copy of it. Those are just like the real new movies. I was just reading the description of the movie. I'm not going to watch it because it's a cam version. I don't really like watching the cam ones because the resolution's kind of crappy on them. What the hell's Bricklayer? It's a new one. I didn't see that one.
Recliner.
Not seeing it on here.
Cast Joanne Harlan. I'm not even going to pronounce those names. That one doesn't sound bad.
So
That's
it's
an HD
it's not
version.
it's not playing on any networks.
Oh yeah, it is ESPN.
But yeah, ESPN's always a separate subscription, no matter what app you have, unless it's included, like a bundle deal.
Yeah, unless you're in the UK.
They always charge extra.
Yeah,
for that.
I got ESPN on my cable.
Right, because usually, like if you have cable, you probably got some kind of ESPN package that's included on your bill.
It's here on my cable. It's called ESPN ND.
Yeah, there's like fucking 15 or 20 different ESPN channels now. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind horror movies. They're not my favorite, Tim, but I'll watch them if they're good. I actually like more like kind of like Star Wars, like Star Trek. I like kind of space movies myself.
Yeah.
Sci-fi, space
Except for what they're trying to do with the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the kind of movies I like. I like adventure, like type movies.
Somehow I haven't been woke enough yet.
Same here.
I can't get it to bloody play. What a pain in the ass.
Fantasia is going to be singing the national anthem.
Who?
Fantasia.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Who?
Fantastic.
Asia, I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Oh well. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna back out of here.
Okay, Steve.
Thank you for helping me in.
Well, thanks for stopping in.
Everybody
Steve?
have a good night and be careful. I don't want to hear about somebody down south that accidentally got
Are you going to watch the game, Steve?
No.
Nobody accidentally gets shot. If they come through the door, they purposely get shot.
No, I don't want to hear about it. Somebody accidentally got shot by a 3D gun.
I was gonna tell you real quick. When I was working on an ambulance, we got one morning right when we had like 4 calls come out back to back, and we would a unit on it. Then they called us up, put us on the next one. Called us up, put us on the next one, because HD New Orleans Health was picking them up and we were covering their calls. So we got the fourth call, and it was all shootings. That was the best part about it. It was all shootings back to back on a Saturday morning.
Oh,
And
jeez.
so we're going down to this last one that they call in, and we pull up on it, and the guy's laying in the street, and there's a crowd, big circle around him, and a few police officers. And we get up there and walk up there and walk over. And when we look at him, he's laying there on the ground, blood everywhere. They got brain matter on him.
Mhm.
He was shot in the head, and an AK laying next to him under his arm, right? And I'm looking at everything, and I walked up. As soon as I walked up, I went, 42, get medical control, brain matter, so we can call it. We don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so they're
Yeah.
going through everything for us and clearing it, but we still have to stay till the coroner gets there. That's
Right.
the worst part.
Steve,
So I'm stuck there for another hour. And I'm looking at this thing, and Marvin DeFillo, which was the spokesman for the New Orleans Police Department, I looked over and I said, Marlon, come here, man. And he walks over and says, yeah, what's up, Joe, man? Like, because he knew my brother-in-law worked with him.
Uh-huh.
I said, what's wrong with this picture? And he's looking down, and he says, besides a young kid shot in the head? I said, yeah, there's something really wrong with this picture. And he goes, because I can only get a certain distance from, because it's a crime scene. And I'm standing about 4 feet from him, and I said, you tell me, I can see it already. And he goes, okay, I'm lost. What? I said, if somebody shot him, why is that AK still sitting on the ground? Why didn't he grab the AK and take off? And I said, and why is that guy standing over in the crowd all distraught like this? And he looks over at the guy, and he had eye contact with us, and then took the eye contact off. And Marvin pointed at him and said, you come here. Like that. He says, what's up? He said, that's my son. Like that.
Uh-huh.
And he said, okay, tell me what happened. He said, well, a couple of guys were picking on me, and I came in and told my son that. So he grabbed the gun off the wall and went out there after him before I could stop him, because he didn't know it wasn't a real gun.
Oh, no.
Look, this is Joe with his 3D printed gun.
Guess what? You're coming with me. It's a wooden gun. Oh!
I remember that. That's what I was saying. You can use it as a billy club. The Golden Finger Award.
No, I would have slapped him too.
Okay.
You got that one. That was
Hey,
on
Dominic,
point.
we'll see you. Steve, you're leaving
Yeah.
too, right?
Yes, sir. Take care, everybody. Have a
I
good
think
night.
we're just going to close it down, everybody.
See y'all.
Okay, we'll
Take
see
care.
all of you tomorrow.
Okay, then.
If I get this to
Bye-bye.
work, Paul, I'll send you a message.
Okay.